The ceasefire just broke. American forces struck Iran. Iran shot down American drones. And it all happened while Iranian diplomats were sitting in Doha negotiating a peace deal. Here is everything that happened in the last 24 hours because the sequence is critical. U.S. Central Command confirmed that American forces conducted strikes in southern Iran, specifically in Bandar Abbas, the strategic port city that sits at the entrance to the Strait of Hormuz. The official justification from CENTCOM spokesperson Capt. Tim Hawkins was this: U.S. forces conducted self-defense strikes in southern Iran to protect our troops from threats posed by Iranian forces. A senior U.S. official told Fox News that 2 Iranian IRGC boats were caught laying naval mines in the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical shipping choke points on Earth, and that a surface-to-air missile site inside Iranian territory had targeted American warplanes in the region. The U.S. military destroyed both boats and struck the missile site. Washington is calling it limited, localized, and defensive.
Multiple American aircraft were targeted by Iran as clashes erupted near the Strait of Hormuz, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps has announced. The powerful Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, also claimed to have shot down an American MQ-9 Reaper drone, confirming the earlier claims of the Iranian sources.
Iran is calling it something very different. The IRGC issued a statement claiming Iranian forces responded swiftly and effectively. Iranian state media accused Washington of unprovoked aggression against a country that was, in their words, maintaining the ceasefire and committed to de-escalation. Press TV called it a failed and provocative attack and described America's military presence in the region as illegal. And then came the claims that sent shockwaves through military planning circles worldwide. The IRGC announced it shot down an American MQ-9 Reaper drone, one of the most advanced armed surveillance drones in the U.S. military arsenal. Then the IRGC claimed it fired on an RQ-4 Global Hawk, a high-altitude intelligence gathering aircraft that costs over $200 million and is capable of collecting real-time imagery across massive areas in all weather conditions. And then, the claim that nobody wanted to hear, the IRGC stated that Iranian forces targeted a US F-35 stealth fighter jet, America's most advanced fifth-generation combat aircraft. The plane that was supposed to be essentially invisible to enemy air defense systems. These claims have not been independently confirmed, but they follow a pattern that has been documented throughout this conflict. Iranian forces have demonstrated capabilities against American air assets that Western military planners did not fully anticipate. Now, here is the detail that makes this entire situation almost incomprehensible. All of this happened while Iranian negotiators were in Doha, sitting at a table, talking to mediators, working toward a deal. The strikes, the drone shoot-downs, the mine-laying operations, the missile site attack, all of it unfolded simultaneously with active peace negotiations happening in the Qatari capital. Both sides were talking and shooting at the same time. And Trump was posting on Truth Social at the same moment. First, he said negotiations were proceeding nicely. Then, in a separate post, he announced that Iran's enriched uranium, which he called nuclear dust, must either be transferred to the United States or destroyed under international supervision. That demand, posted publicly while American jets were striking Iranian territory and Iranian air defenses were engaging American drones, is not the language of a man who believes a deal is imminent. It is the language of a man adding new conditions in real time. The geography of this clash matters enormously. Bandar Abbas is not a remote military outpost. It is one of Iran's most important port cities. It sits directly at the mouth of the Strait of Hormuz. Explosions heard east of the city and in coastal areas overlooking the strait sent immediate shockwaves through global energy markets. Any military activity near Bandar Abbas is activity near the choke point through which roughly a fifth of the world's oil supply must pass. Every shot fired in those waters is felt at gas pumps worldwide within hours. Iranian reports claimed that 4 IRGC personnel were killed in the American strikes. If confirmed, that means Iranian military deaths from direct American action during what is officially described as a ceasefire period, and Iran's response reportedly included anti-ship missiles targeting U.S. vessels in the Gulf, a significant escalation beyond drone operations or missile site activations. The official American position is that this was contained, specific, limited, using restraint, The senior U.S. official told Fox News the strikes were over for now. That phrase, for now, and is doing enormous work. It is not over. It is paused. What this episode reveals is that the ceasefire was never really a ceasefire. It was a reduction in intensity, a pause in large-scale operations while both sides continued testing boundaries, laying mines, flying surveillance missions, activating missile sites, and responding with lethal force when the other side crossed a line. That is not a ceasefire. That is a managed conflict waiting for the next trigger to escalate. The deal being negotiated in Doha needs both sides to stop doing exactly what they were doing yesterday. And yesterday, neither side stopped. The Strait of Hormuz is not calm. The ceasefire is not holding. And the next 48 hours will tell you whether what happened in Bandar Abbas yesterday was a contained incident or the beginning of round two.